am I doing? This week, we're going to do 2 videos. Today, we're going to do spicy sports betting because it's a big day of fights. I'm going to pick a fight that's actually going to happen in about 2 hours. So by the time this video goes up, the fight will be over. But it's about 2 p.m. right now in Ontario. The main event of this fight will be around 5 p.m. So I'm picking it in time to get the video rendered and uploaded to YouTube to be live for 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And for it to be in HD quality at 7:30 p.m. Eastern means it would have to have been uploaded at least a couple hours earlier for YouTube to process the video. So just so you guys know, it's about 2 o'clock right now. Sorry, it's 2:40. I'll show you my watch just so you can see. 2:40. Okay. So we're going to do, I think, 4 picks today. It's going to be crazy. This is the craziest thing I've ever done. And, hopefully this video, maybe I want it to be a dud because 4 picks could be 4 bad punishments. But last week's was kind of a dud, so I hope this week does better, but at the same time, I don't want to get smoked. So we're going to do 4 picks today. We're going to see how it goes. And tomorrow, make sure you tune in because tomorrow I'm doing a special episode. I'm going to do another homemade hot sauce challenge because tomorrow my ghost pepper hot sauce, which I call Smoke and Ghost, will be ready for tasting. So we're going to taste that one, and I believe that this is going to be the hottest sauce I have to date. Now, beyond that, I have 3 more sauces to taste, and 2 of them will be the most extreme sauces I think I've ever had. But we'll have to wait a couple weeks to see how those are. We'll get into those more later. But yeah, so make sure you tune in tomorrow because we're going to do a tasting of that sauce. And next week, we're probably going to do 2 episodes because I have another sauce to taste. And, we'll see how this goes tonight in terms of punishment. All right, so we're going to get started with the fight that starts, the card is actually started right now. But the main event of the card will be around 5 p.m. today. It's between Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua. I think this is going to be an interesting fight. I think Usyk is, a very good undefeated challenger. I think that he has potential to beat Joshua. I think Joshua has holes in his game, and I think they've been exposed by Andy Ruiz, even though he beat Andy Ruiz the second time. I just think there's holes in Joshua's game. I'm not sure he's all that. I know his record is good. I know he's got a decent resume, but I'm not sold 100%, that this guy has seen enough adversity to say he's truly a top-tier heavyweight, even though he holds titles. I know that sounds crazy, but he got tested once and he got put down. And the comeback fight from that was, he won decisively, but he fought very safe. And that was a fight where he didn't need to. So I still have doubts about Anthony Joshua. Usyk is a guy I would like to think could challenge those doubts. But, I think that Joshua's size is going to be a factor in the fight. If they were more evenly sized, I think Usyk's skill set might be an interesting challenge. But I think because he's the undersized man, I think in the end that's going to allow Joshua to maybe play it safe, point fight, and win by decision. So I will be betting on Anthony Joshua winning this fight. I will bet a Trinidad Viper crossed with a purple boot, the Viper X Pepper I like to call it. I will bet one of those on Anthony Joshua. Okay. Then moving on to the UFC, which is tonight. I'm picking 3 fights from this card. The first fight, Valentina Shevchenko. I don't even remember who she's fighting. It doesn't matter. I'm going to bet a death shot on Valentina because I think this is a no-brainer. I think she's going to win, and I can't even remember her opponent's name. Yikes. That's what happens when you fly off the seat of your pants. But to be honest with you, like I've said before, the women's fighting, there's 2 levels. Usually there's one really good and one not on that level. It's going to be one of those fights. Valentina will win easily. That's why I'm going to bet a death shot on it. We'll say if she loses, I'll do a quarter dropper of the death shots. So that's all we're going to talk about in that fight. I think Valentina's got this. Then we're going to move on to Volkanovski versus Ortega. Now this is an interesting fight because Volkanovski's beaten Holloway twice. He's proven he's got the skill set to be a champion, and so far he's been off to a good start. I think Holloway's quite a difficult guy to beat, and to beat him twice is, it's a credit to a guy, no matter how close the fights might have been. I think that Ortega is an impressive fighter. He had an interesting run, I think he was at welterweight a few years ago. Things have kind of changed for him since then, and here we go now. So what happens here? I think Volkanovski's too skilled. I think he's too good. Ortega's a good fighter, but I'm not sure he's on that level. The last time he was on this stage, he came up short big time. It was against Holloway, I believe. That was at 155. Sorry, it was at 155. So he was not a welterweight before. See, I'm forgetting things. Long time. That was 3-4 years ago. Yeah, I saw him fight Holloway in the UFC at Toronto. So, yeah, he's already lost once at 155 at a title shot, and that was when Holloway was the king. The man that beat Holloway, I think, is going to be the man that beat Ortega. Ortega's had more time and experience to obviously learn from that, but I'm not sure he's on the level of Volkanovski. So I think Volkanovski will win this fight, and I will bet a square of the Chili Cherry Nightmare on Oleksandr Volkanovski winning. All right. Now we're going to get down to the last bet. The last bet of the evening. This is where the pain could really come, guys. If I fail, this will be 4 things I have to do. That being said, I think a couple are pretty clear winners, like Valentina. I don't think she'll lose. But if she loses, then this night's going to really suck for me. But yeah, the final fight I'm going to pick is Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. This is a rematch, 17 years in the making. Obviously, there's no hype to it from that original fight because that's so long ago. That's 2 generations of fighters ago. Let's face it, it's a long time ago. It was before I lived in this house. That was a different life. And it was a different life for both those guys. And Robbie Lawler went way up, and even Nick Diaz went up from there. He had some big fights like the Gomi fight. He fought GSP. He fought Anderson Silva. He had some big moments. And Robbie Lawler went on to be the welterweight champion, and he was pretty dominant champion for a long time until he met Tyron Woodley. So, these guys have both had good careers, and they've both gone a little bit different directions. Nick has been away from the sport for a very long time partying, and that's a bit of a concern. And Robbie's been around, and now he's at the tail end of his career. He hasn't really been beat up much in his career, but he is at the tail end, and he has lost, I believe 4 of his last 5 fights against tough competition. Let's not pretend that these are bad losses, but that's the case. So that's where we stand today. And you got a guy that hasn't fought 6.5 years, that hasn't won in almost a decade, and versus a guy that hasn't won in a while, but has been active over that time and has been dominant over that time. Last time they fought, Nick knocked him out. It was a good back and forth fight where Robbie was landing the bombs, but in the end, Nick's endurance and punishment that just keeps coming caught him clean in a moment he didn't see it, and that was it. Face planted. I don't know what to expect from this fight. I have many feelings about what I've seen from Nick this week. The way, obviously he's older, so it's a little weird to get used to looking at that. Just some of the things he said, it's hard to get a read on this. And, if it goes the way I think it should go, Robbie's going to try to knock his head off. And if Robbie does, I won't be surprised. If Robbie makes contact early in this fight, especially if Nick is not in the groove, it could end real quick, and it will not shock me. However, I think Nick is durable, and I think that if that happens, I think he'll be able to avoid being put away. If the fight goes to the ground, whose jiu-jitsu is a big factor, If it becomes a contact fight where they're tied up a lot, I think Nick's jiu-jitsu becomes a factor. I think he can do a lot standing or on the ground. So that makes the fight interesting. And once Robbie blows his wad a bit and gets tired, Nick starts peppering him a lot. That can really change things too. That being said, that's the old Nick. And we're talking about a guy that hasn't fought in 6 years. So we don't even know what we're going to see from him. It's been that long. He's at that point of his career where, if you gradually tail off as you fight, you adjust. But if you tail off over 6 years and you fought one time, and that's tonight, I don't know if it's something you can adjust to on the fly. But that being said, I think there was a reason why he last minute changed the fight to 185. He looks like he's in shape, so I don't know if that was trickery at the last minute or what that was. But I think this fight's going to go longer than short, and I think the longer this fight goes, the more likely Nick Diaz wins the fight. So I will bet the other square of the Chili Cherry Nightmare on Nick Diaz winning the fight, because I think that's what's going to happen. You can see I'm not sure. The odds are exactly even on these guys. There's a lot of questions about both guys. And I like both guys. It's tough. I wish them both the best. I hope they don't get hurt. And I think Nick will win. All right. Well, you guys tune into the fights. I'm going to get this rendered and uploaded. And we'll see what happens. And make sure you tune in tomorrow to see me taste my Smoking Ghost sauce, which is right there. Because we're going to do that first test of that, and then some people will be getting their jars. So yeah, subscribe to the channel, like, comment. Not enough comments. Check out last week's video where I tasted the last hot sauce that no one saw, and check out this video here. And we'll see you tomorrow with my sauce tasting, and we'll see what happens with these fights tonight for next week. Thanks for watching.